here's what I want to do. Come on in. Put hands on the shoulders. That's what I'm talking about. Good. Let's just take a minute. Dear sweet zombie Jesus, thank you very much for this show we are about to record and the laughs we're about to bring to many people. I know you're sometimes scary, little zombie Jesus, with your little missing teeth and your fangs. But you know what? We love you all the same, all right? In your name, we groan. All right. Start the show in.
Zombie Jesus have a halo?
No. We'll figure that out later.
Hello! Welcome to the Wham Band. This is StacheTag's weekly comedy podcast where we talk about interesting topics and things that we just feel like talking about and wasting time and,
All that jazz.
all that jazz.
Good job.
I will be today.
That's all, folks.
Dude, whatever happened to Woody Woodpecker?
That was Porky the Pig.
Yeah, I know that, but what? I will be this week's host, Andy Cheadle. To left, we have Matt Zagisi.
And then there was silence.
How did you do that?
To left of him, we got Brayden Curtis.
Hey, thanks for having me, Andy.
Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
good
I'm
time.
really excited. I'm a big fan.
I'm good.
Big Wham fan.
Big Wham fan.
For anybody who doesn't know, you can subscribe to our podcast on YouTube/StacheTag if you would not like to see us for whatever reason because you think we're ugly or.
Oh, I wore a nice hat today.
He wore a hat. He's got a hat.
Very proud of it.
Yes, it's a new hat. Give him
Nice
some.
hat.
Yeah, give him something. If you would if you would just like to listen to us all in one big long chunk, you can do that on SoundCloud or iTunes. All right, so Brayden, you said you were going to start us off tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Good job, Andy, by the way.
Yeah, good job. Proud of you.
I also want to give him props because before this, he was talking to us. He's like, hey, guys. He points to my iPhone. He's like, can we please call this the Wham Cam? And I said, yes. I think that is a good name.
That's a thing now.
Every camera we use is the Wham Cam,
Yep.
especially the mobile ones. If we do a mobile episode, that's definitely a Wham
That's
Cam.
definitely a Wham Cam.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to do that.
We'll figure it out at some point. Yeah, Brayden, you're kicking us off, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay. Mine is about crushed hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
It's gonna start off like
Yeah,
this
let's get this gravy train
week.
a flowing.
Okay. It's not as bad as it sounds.
Oh, good. Because it sounds terrible.
So I was telling Matt earlier, but Andy, this was almost the coolest week of my life. Almost. Yeah. Okay, so the week started off, and I got a text from my boss, and he's like, hey, what are you doing next Monday? I was like, I don't know, probably just hanging out. Why? Like, you want to go to Chicago? And I was like,
Chicago.
I was like, heck yeah, that sounds awesome. He's like, cool, you're going to be shooting stuff for Hebrew National Hot Dogs. And go,
That's a like name brand hot dog chain right there.
yeah, so I'd be doing some legit stuff, traveling. It was going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Eating all
So,
types of hot
Yeah, I was
dogs.
super excited for that. Then I come in the next day, and he's like, bad news. Hebrew National decided not to do the thing, so we're boycotting them from now on. So I was kind of bummed.
Only Frankfurters for this crew.
Yeah, I only had a day to get excited for that, and then it was ripped out from underneath me. But then he's like, good news. VidCon is this Friday, and I can't make it, so I need you to rep me at the big party this weekend. I need you to schmooze with all the big types.
Ooh,
get
gonna go
our name in.
Gonna go hobnobbing with all the fancy folk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't get a pass this year because it was too expensive, and I'm poor. So I was like, sweet, I could still go in like some capacity. So then,
oh god, this is gonna go downhill.
yeah,
Oh yeah, he started this off with crushed hopes
Yeah,
and dreams.
I'm starting to connect the dots.
and I was really excited because I saw like all my favorite YouTubers on Instagram. They're like having so much fun at all these parties, and like everybody that I knew was gonna knew of
Yeah.
was gonna be there, and I'm like from an actual thing now, so I can like act like I should be there
Yeah.
instead of just
Can-
be like.
You can roll with the punches.
Yeah, last year when we snuck into the maker party, everybody was like, you have a channel? And like, yeah, we have 12 subscribers. Like, okay, that's cool, bye. But this year, like, we got 2 million on Facebook, so
Yeah.
take that, dudes.
We got 2 million on
No,
Facebook.
not us.
Not
You're-
for food.
no, that's for his actual work.
Yeah, for my actual.
No, not
stuff.
us. You kidding me?
yeah.
Dude,
Surprise.
No, God no.
we are awesome.
I don't even know that many
Yeah.
people.
We're not that
No.
awesome.
Nah.
Damn.
But
Anyway.
Friday rolls around, and I still haven't heard anything. And I text like the main boss, like, hey, can I have the details for tonight? I mean, that's happening in like 3 hours. So I'd like to know if I should leave. He's like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you, but it's too exclusive this year. There's like actual celebrities showing up, so we couldn't.
Yeah, Hebrew National bought out the entire stadium, and now we can't go anymore.
Hebrew. Yeah, so he couldn't get us spots on the list, so we weren't allowed in. And I was like, oh shoot. Guess I'm gonna go see Finding Dory.
Which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Well, you saw Finding Dory and The Shallows. Both of you did the same
It
day.
was an awesome ocean double feature that day.
Yeah, 'cause, like the closest I've ever come to doing that is like going to like the drive-in and they play like 2 movies. I've never gone to the movies, left, and then gone back.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, you had to fill that day with something that you could entertain yourself with.
I guess so. Yeah.
So I want to know if you guys had anything where you're like super excited for something and then just ripped out.
Oh yeah, I got a couple. But so, do you have anything, Andy? I'll vamp for you while you're going.
Yeah, you can.
I'll start first.
Yeah,
So
that sounds
this
good.
actually happened. How long ago was it at this point?
I don't know.
No. Not that I can think of in 2 days.
Brayden promised me we
no,
could
I've-
get into this sweet VidCon party.
I got these shattered hopes and dreams.
I'm actually a really big fan of Hebrew National hot dogs, and Brayden came up and threw them all away. I was really confused and sad and angry. But no, so last summer.
At least I got VidCon.
Yep. Last summer, I was actually with you two, and we were at your old works.
The networking thing.
Yeah, the networking thing you guys did. You and I and Andy were all like the help, basically. I opened wine, you served pasta or whatever.
Oh
And-
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my dance studio owner from like way back in high school, like from back home, she calls me and she says, "Hey Matt, what's your summer look like?" And I said, "I mean, I'll be home and I'm gonna be working at the hospital, but I mean, other than that, like nothing really. What's going on?" Assuming she would ask me to like maybe sub a couple of classes or something like that, or teach a couple things here and there or whatever. But then she drops a bombshell and she goes, "So we're actually looking at making a little performance that we're gonna actually do with Janet Jackson."
Ooh.
Right? And she gives me all the details, and it's not like this is like a maybe thing. This sounds like a super flushed out, detailed thing. And they're like, "We want you to come back and be in it." And of course, I'm gonna be like, "Yes, absolutely. I would love to dance with Janet Jackson. Are you kidding me?"
Let me check my schedule.
Oh, so I'll see if I can fit Janet next to my dinner date with Fergie. But no, so I'm like, yeah, that sounds amazing. I would love to do that. And so she says, great. We start rehearsals on not August, that's the end of summer. In like June, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're going to be home. We'll start then. Great. That sounds like a plan. And so I go home and have a couple weeks. Then we start rehearsing, right? And it's like, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I drive up like not a couple hours, but like I drive an hour to the studio and I dance with them and then I come home, right?
Yeah.
And we have this whole routine flushed out. Like we're getting ideas in, we're brainstorming. It's getting to be a pretty cohesive piece. But like we're starting to not hear as much from the people that said this was going to happen, like the people down in Hollywood and the whole like performers and
Classic Janet Jackson.
the like people that own the rights to the music or whatever that is. And then so my studio owner goes down there and she said, like, she has a meeting with them and she comes back and she says, she doesn't say, "Oh, this isn't happening." She says, "Wait, there's more." And she says, instead of just maybe touring with Janet Jackson, if this is successful, there's a possibility of this being a worldwide event where we go to a bunch of different places and perform this. And then you teach like kids and people at like youth groups and like boys and girls clubs and just local establishments. Like you perform it and then you teach them excerpts from the piece. So it's this whole thing where you're just going around and teaching people how to dance and have a good time. And it was supposed to be like a 3-month thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you travel the world for 3 months and then you come back, right? Which is infinitely better. That's like you get a chocolate cake and then someone's like, "Yo, here's a whole pie for you," right? And they're all for you. And that's fantastic, right? You just take everything.
Wait, are you getting the pie in addition to the cake, or is like they take the cake away and like, here, have this pie instead?
No, it's the same thing. You have your cake and eat it too. You got your cake and then you got the pie, and you can eat both of them like a sad fat man alone in your basement. And so it's not.
That's how most worldwide trips end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And so it's not this thing that's sort of dwindling over time. It's sort of the thing. It's building actually. So it's looking more and more like a possibility. They even gave us the rights to the Michael Jackson songs we were using, so we wouldn't have to like. I really don't know, so we wouldn't get sued, basically, right?
Wouldn't
And
you have to hit up the Beatles?
no
Like,
Beatles.
Didn't they buy Michael Jackson's
yeah.
song?
Oh, I thought
No,
I thought he owned
Michael Jackson
theirs.
bought Beatles songs.
Oh, Michael Jackson bought
That's why
Beatles.
him and Paul McCartney weren't friends after a while, because
Ah,
Michael
okay.
Jackson outbid Paul McCartney for the rights to some Beatles songs. I don't know if it was all of them. I think it was just a couple, but like,
Man, music politics.
yeah, it's hard. So but basically we got the copyright, which was astounding, right? That doesn't usually happen, I figured. But so all these wheels were in motion, right? And then come like mid-July, things just started like rapidly declining. Like a bunch of rehearsals got canceled, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess, it's like, because we were pretty much done. So I'm like, okay, I guess we don't have to rehearse every single time. I guess we could taper it off a little bit. And then I just stopped hearing things, right? I just stopped like hearing from my studio owner. I stopped hearing from like other people, and I eventually, after like a good 3 weeks of not doing anything, I kind of like, I texted people and I was like, hey, is that thing still happening with Janet Jackson? And I kind of already knew the answer, but they were like, oh, no, it's not. And I don't even know if they really explained why, but it wasn't, for me, it was kind of similar to you, where like you had like one day to be like, yeah, boom, and then nothing happens, right? Where like, there was never an inclination where it's like, oh yeah, this is maybe going to be a thing. It was just definitive. It was like, this is happening.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself, right? And so I was like, I was doing just that. I was preparing myself. I was like, okay, I was plotting out how this was going to work, like with school and all this other stuff, if it actually went through. And then all of a sudden, it just like up, but then 90-degree angle down on the graph, just boom, to zero, right? Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I just get to sit here alone all summer. And it also sucked too, because like there were things I wanted to do last summer that like I was thinking to myself, I'm like places to go and like vacations and things like that, where I was like, but that was like at the height of when this was still a possibility. So I was like, no, like I want to kick it here because I really want to see if this turns into something, or I want to see how this progresses. And then lo and behold, nothing happened. So A, I didn't get to dance with Janet Jackson, and B, I didn't even go anywhere that summer. So I just spent most of it at home working.
Yay.
So it was not a lame summer, just because I still had fun, but it wasn't what it could have been. It wasn't what like.
Oh, it's not like traveling the world
it's
touring.
not. It's not traveling the world touring somewhere. It's just being at home, relaxing summer. And it was very sad.
But you did get to be in that one music video of. Blanking on her name.
Yeah, well, that was way before this though.
Yeah.
That was my friend got me this music video gig for a lady named Kwanzaa Jones.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's like a single she had a while ago, and I guess she's also, I didn't know this, but she's also a lawyer.
No way.
Yeah, like her day job is a lawyer, and her nightlife is like social pop star. Yeah, it's crazy. But I did a music video with her like when was that? That was like my senior year of high school. But that was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Cause because I remember the music video, and like there was like that behind the scenes kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like you got to wear like that suit that had like the light up.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was cool.
And fun fact about that though, we spent like a good hour and a half like sewing the lights onto our suits, because we were wearing just a black morph suit, and they had these like long strips of like fluorescent tubing that like you, with a battery pack, you click it and it lights up blue, right? And we had to get in a costume, and then we had to stand there, and there were like 3 costume guys who were like meticulously sewing these on, like all up our arms or on our waist, down our legs, up our chest, right? And it took so much longer than they expected. We went like an hour over schedule for shooting, and so we kind of be like, oh man, we had to stand there like not moving for a good hour, and we're like, oh, everything hurts. But that was actually a really good time. And then another fun fact, the house we shot in is where is it? It's up north a little bit, but they also used that same house for one of the movies from like the horror series VHS.
Oh, shoot.
I think I might have told you this. I forget if you were there or not. But it was like the second one, I believe. And in the very last like little VHS they pop in, it's like a little segment they do. And it's this horror thing where they're in this house. These 2 guys find like this ritual sacrifice of this like little girl.
Yeah.
And then they stop it, and then like, no, you've angered the spirits. Oh, and everyone just gets exploded. and like all these crazy things start happening. Like there's these like handprints that start like clapping on the walls, and the doors start disappearing. And as I'm watching it,
like the hands start coming out of the walls. And
yeah,
stuff?
that part.
Was cool.
And as I'm watching it, I'm like, why does this whole thing look familiar? And then I'm like, oh my god, that's the house we were in. And it was you, because I remember you were like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Like they were walking upstairs, and I'm like, look, if they turn to the right, the room right there is gonna be a bedroom. And they turned right, and they clicked the lights on, and it was the bedroom that was the place we were in where they were sewing the lights onto us. I was like, oh shoot, that's cool. Because it's a used house.
That is cool.
Yeah.